Welcome to the tutorial on feedback transconductance amplifier, also called as series feedback amplifier. The feedback transconductance amplifier consists of a unilateral open loop amplifier, A circuit, and an ideal feedback network, which is represented as the beta circuit. The A circuit has an input resistance which is denoted by Ri, a short circuit transconductance A which is given by I0 divided by Vi, and an output resistance R0. The beta circuit samples the short circuit output current I0 and provides a feedback voltage Vf and Vs minus Vf in the series input loop. The beta circuit presents zero resistance to the output loop and thus does not load the amplifier output. Also, the feedback signal Vf is equal to beta times I0 is an ideal voltage source, so the beta circuit does not load the amplifier input. While A is the transconductance, beta is the trans resistance. Thus, A beta, that is the multiplication of A and beta, is a dimensionless quantity. And this product, A into beta, is called as the loop gain. The source and the load resistances have been completely absorbed inside the A circuit, and the closed loop gain AF can be computed as I0 by Vs to be equal to A by 1 plus A beta, which is denoted as equation number 1. Now, in order to find out the input resistance and the output resistance, we try to obtain the equivalent circuit of this particular circuit. So, the equivalent circuit is shown in figure B, and here we compute the input voltage Vi to be equal to the source voltage Vs divided by 1 plus A beta, and this is denoted as equation number 2. To find out the current II is computed as Vi divided by Ri, as you can see, and this is computed as Vs divided by 1 plus A beta into Ri, denoted as equation number 3. The current II is the current that is drawn from the Vs, and to compute the input resistance with feedback, we have Vs divided by II. So that will give us a value Rif to be equal to Ri into 1 plus A beta, which is denoted as equation number 5. Now from this, what we understand is that Rif, that is the resistance, input resistance with feedback, is very much greater than the input resistance Ri by a factor equal to 1 plus A times beta. In order to compute the output resistance ROF, what we do is we try to short circuit the input side by considering the source voltage Vs to be equal to 0, and we break the output loop, say OOA, and give an output current represented as Ix. So to compute the output resistance with feedback, we have Vx divided by Ix, denoted as equation number 1, and in this case we have Vi to be equal to minus Vf, which is equal to minus beta times I0 that we have seen here, and that is equal to minus beta into Ix, because here output current has been replaced by Ix. So Vx is equal to Ix minus AVi into R0, or this can be written as Ix plus A beta Ix into R0. Vx is equal to Ix minus AVi into R0, or Ix plus A beta Ix into R0. So ROF is equal to Vx by Ix, so we rearrange this equation and we get this as 1 plus A beta into R0, which is denoted as equation number 2. So what we can conclude here is that the negative feedback increases the resistance with feedback because the negative feedback tries to make the output current I0 constant in spite of change in output voltage, which means the value of ROF increases. So the relationship between ROF and R0 is a function only of a method of sampling. So to conclude, I can say while the voltage or the shunt sampling reduces the output resistance, the current series sampling will increase the output resistance with feedback. The series feedback topology that we have seen here increases both the input and the output resistances, and this is one of the highly desirable outcome for a transconductance amplifier. And the input and the output actual resistance of the feedback amplifier can be found out by subtracting RS from RIF and RL from ROF. That is because if you look at the circuit here, we have not considered the resistance RS connected in series with the input side and resistance RL connected to the output side. So if we are going to have RS and RL, then we have to subtract those values from the RIF and ROF respectively to obtain the actual values of input and output resistances of the feedback amplifier.